Hey, bienvenue à Sydney. That's crazy, right? This is my first confessional, I guess, for Survivor Blue Mountains. So I arrived in Sydney yesterday after a very long flight. And I figured, why not show off what I'm doing right now, which I am walking from Bronte Beach to Coogee Beach. I hope I'm pronouncing those right. If not, I'm sorry, Australians. I'm really not that sorry. I am a little sorry. I like to pronounce things correctly. But also, I have a speech impediment, so if you get upset at me about pronouncing things incorrectly, you are ableist. What a way to start out this video. Antagonizing the specs already. I love it. Survivor Blue Mountain in a couple days. I was thinking about this last night when I was talking in the confessional with Shay. Maybe talking about my strategy a little bit. And doing it on video because that's nice. Just for the heck of it. So this will be my second live reality game. I'd like to say I have some lessons to learn from my first game, but stuff out of my control kind of ended my game there. One thing that is in my control, though, is I've lost a lot of weight since the last time. So, the challenge that I ended up failing on to get back in, I was very upset with myself because I had been training for a couple weeks at that point, and I thought I would have done better on that challenge. So, hopefully, if it's a similar type of challenge, endurance challenge, maybe you do better on that. I don't know, but in terms of my strategy, I think, and that night one and kind of the pregame is going to be crucial for me in just getting to know specifically the people I don't know, which is, I think, more than half the cast of the Australian locals, and that's going to be key for me because I am introverted, and it does take me a while to open up to people. I have a hard time talking about myself. I do remember just mortifying in my head, talking to Chan, love you, Chan, on the first night. We were sitting together, and she was just like asking, like, I think normal questions for people who have normal social abilities, and my inability to answer them. And I was so worried about how I was coming off to her. And she even told me that she thought that maybe I didn't like her. That's just not true. But we ended up, being on the same starting tribe and working together while we were in the game. So that's kind of what I'm hoping here, where I can find someone, because I really did trust her, and I hope she trusted me. And I think my strategy in this game it's a little bit risky, but I think it's better for me, knowing that I do have a contingent of Americans that I do know come with me, is I want to make a close alliance with someone I've never met, one of the Australian contingents. One of the non-Mafia Scum Australian players, I think, is key. Because I do think that, especially because a lot of people emphasize their ties to Mafia Scum in their intro videos, that's going to be on the mind of the non-MS players, as like, we're going to work together because we know each other, which is not true, and I know it's not true, and I know all the MS players know it's not true. But from my time in Austin, like, the non-MS players, even no matter how much we all said it, they didn't believe it. So like that's a problem that we have to overcome, and that I am specifically thinking about going into the game overcoming. I don't know how much the other MS players are thinking about this. My guess is not much, especially for the ones who emphasize their connection to Mafia Scum. So hopefully that gives me an advantage over my fellow MS players if it gets to a situation again where the non-MS players are like, we have to take out the MS players because they know each other. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking about so far. Just being that kind of person. I'm really glad I got here early. I was just talking to Emily and Kevin, and they're getting fucked around by their airline. Drew's airline is trying to tell him that he could take a voucher to come to Sydney later. And other Kevin from Washington, D.C., is also getting told by his airline, oh, we can get you on a later flight. So I'm really glad I got here early. But I'm getting time to acclimate. Like, I napped a bit yesterday, and then I went to bed very early at 8:30, but I got up at like 5 a.m. today, decided to come out to the beach, and it's absolutely gorgeous here. Absolutely gorgeous. I really hope the audio on this comes well. I haven't checked or tested at all. Yeah, I might post more confessionals, more video confessionals like this, because I want to get your favor, so you don't screw me over this time, Shay. I know you weren't expect last time, but I thought I'd call you out anyway. No, it's fine. I only act like I'm bitter on TV or on video. It's fine. It really is fine. Coming to Australia is like a lifelong dream for me. So I'm living the dream right now. It doesn't actually matter what happens to me in the game. It doesn't, because I'm living the dream. Look at this. Like, if nothing else, like, it's insane that I'm on the other side of the world. It's about as far from home as I possibly could get. I've never really left the U.S. Except for a brief time that only Terry knows about, and we will not talk about. And like to have my first true international trip to be literally the other side of the planet, absolutely insane. I'm just finally in a place in my life where travel is possible financially, where I'm probably the healthiest I've ever been. I feel like I look younger, having lost almost 50 pounds. Like I was like shocked. I don't know why I had this kind of like dysmorphia moment on the plane, but I was looking at myself in the mirror in the plane bathroom, like, holy hell, I look so much younger than I think I do, which is nice. So maybe I'm healthy mentally. That's an insane thing to think about. I weighed in about at 204 pounds, which is right before I left. I have no way to weigh myself while I'm here, so I have no idea what I'm going to be until I get back. But I'll probably lose weight, which usually happens. But it's like the lowest weight I've been in my adult life. So it's been an incredible just thing for me. Mentally, I guess, too. There's definitely is like improvement to my mental health and feeling less sorry for myself and feeling, yeah. So, sorry I brought down the vibe of this video. Let me bring the vibe back up. I'll show you the coast one more time. I'm somewhere between Bronte and Kooky Beach on the cliffs. Actually by a cemetery, which is over here. I want to be respectful, so I'm going to show it briefly. As a place that deserves respect. But yeah. So Survivor Loop Mountains. I'll see how many more of these I do. It may not be much, but I'll. Yeah. If you have any questions that you'd like me to answer in a future one of these, if I were to do them, drop in my confessional. I'll probably type out my answers because I'm manic like that. But yeah. One's up. If you know, you know. Thanks. Bye.